Andre 3000, that verse on that Kanye song was whoo.
Oh
It it,
yes.
it 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 felt like food for the soul, you know. And then I heard, or I got, oh, it was an article that I read, that how he kind of left hip hop, or left because he felt that the hip hop game is for young people, specifically for young people. And it got me thinking. So if all of the hip hop artists that we grew up on feel that same way, and they retire out the game, what are we left to listen to as consumers, as fans that grow older? Are we only allowed to listen to young hip hop, or we have to revert back to listening to old records? Like, what music can we listen to that's hip hop if they're going to bow out the game at a certain age? Is there an age limit for hip hop?
I don't think there's an age limit for it. I think hip hop was always supposed to be about telling the story of where you are. Right? It was always
Hmm.
about that. If I'm in the ghetto, I'm telling the story about the ghetto. If I got rich, I need to tell a story about how it is when I got rich. You know what I'm saying? Like it's the remember it's supposed to be the reflection of real life.
So where is this thing about it being young?
I don't know. It's because remember what we're talking about. We're talking about the era where it was supposed to be young rebellious music, right? So it was supposed to be young, hip, rebellious music, for young people to kind of have their voice, so forth and so on. But you're
Hip hop is getting
let's
older.
it's getting older. But let's take the verse that Andre gave us on that
Right,
about the loss of his mom,
right.
right? It's real shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because I'm at the age I've lost my parent, right? So
Hmm.
I lost my mom. So I can identify with that, right? And there's going to
Right.
be countless of other people that can identify with that,
And
with
that
the loss.
defies age.
And it defies age. It doesn't have an age limit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
How to deal with mental illness doesn't have an age limit.
Right.
How to deal with racism doesn't have an age limit. How to deal with the tax man doesn't have an age limit. This is real shit.
There's
You know what I'm
endless
saying?
topic. There's endless topics.
Yeah. Like it doesn't have an age limit, man. What happens is, this is what I want to say, and I think that sometimes that I don't think it should be taken the wrong way. What happens is it's too much trouble, or it's too revealing to talk about the things that really matter, or people might say that it's not popular. But look at what Nas does. Look at what Jay does, right? Jay transitioned. Remember when Jay was making everything he was making hot music for the summer. Then when he's talking about, I'm not black, I'm OJ, right? You transition. You start talking about the shit that matter. Ross, they transition. You start talking about the shit. Meek Mill, start talking about the shit that matters. You know what I'm saying? And yeah, you might start off as a braggadocious, so forth and so on, but now you've ascended. Now you got money. Okay. There's different struggles with that. Kanye
Right.
told us that. Kanye said now we're dealing with racism, big brother, classism. He
Right.
talks about the glass ceiling. He talks about, you know what I'm saying? Like, talk about that shit, man. That's real, that we impacts us as black men, or black people as a community. Let's talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Um, you know, I think you'll age out of the WAP era. I think you'll age out of that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? You'll age out
Right.
of that, because after a while, we all know that thing won't stay as a WAP. It'll probably turn into a DAP.
Dap. Dap.
A DAP, right? Or a DOP, right? A dry ass, whatever, right?
Right. Right.
and that's just age. You know what I mean? Like, it's not us making no slight to them. It's just age. You can't keep talking about that same shit, man. Like, you know what I'm saying? And only really smart artists know how to evolve like that. You think Drake got an expiration date? Hell no. Drake knows how to articulate what the fuck he's feeling and what he's going through at any given time. And because he can do that, it never gets old. If you notice, his music can never get old because it's always talking about the emotions or the struggles of being a man and dealing with different things in your life. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that's what the music is supposed to be about. It's supposed to be about real shit. Now, if you're going to talk about fluff, if you're trying to talk about fashion, you can age out of that shit. There's things that you can age out of. You know, you're going to age out of that shit. But if you talk about real shit, we got a lot of social issues, man.
Yeah. There's a lot of growing up challenges and troubles that are topics that need to be discussed. And, you know, it's kind of disappointing where so many of the artists that we grew up listening to have not transitioned. They kind of just bow out, you know, and or you know you don't hear from them again, or they continue trying to keep up with some of the young music. They're trying to do those type of records, and it often comes across like a reach. Like, dude, you in your 40s and you talking like you nah.
But let's also play the devil's advocate, right? Because music is supposed to have profitability.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and they may be looking at it like, hey, this content is just not profitable. You know, this doesn't make me any money, you know? And here I am pouring out my soul into it and it ain't making me no bread. You know what I'm saying? But this is where I really appreciate the Rosses of the world. I appreciate the Nas of the world, the Jays of the world, who have diversified themselves as men.
Right.
Right. So their income now is diversified. They're not overly concerned with sales figures, and then they can continue to provide content to people that's real and authentic.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Without the worry of it being profitable. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because at the end of the day, you know, I don't care what anybody has to say. We need the Andre 3000s.
Definitely.
We need that. We you know what I'm saying? We need his experience.
Yeah.
So people can learn from it. We need the Lauryn Hills.
Yep.
We need their experience so people can learn from it. If people don't realize that we got a generation out here that's lost as fuck,